Yeah, the Slardar. I do like seeing the Slardar because that means we're going to see a lot of fighting between these two sides once we get the nickname.
That's definitely true, and picking Slardar on the dire side will give you the Roshan advantage. My big concern is that this is, in my opinion, not a good game for Slardar. You pick Slardar, a melee core just into the clockwork that was picked up. You're going to be sprinting around eating things like Death Ward as well as Pulse Nova, and the Cool Sprays are going to stack up against you as well. So I don't know. I don't know if this Slardar is going to have a good game.
We'll see. And again, that ban which we pretty much see every game against NiP. If they still need Jonas and fans here, the other side says, well, we're not going to let him get the axe. And rightfully so here. Would have been a very nice final pickup for the side, you know, with the extra physical damage. And, well, you talked about the potential of Chen. They're going to opt for the Enigma instead this game alone.
Chen got taken out by NiP in the last event. So it seems like, okay, so this is what Alliance expects of NiP, right?
Yes.
Alliance is gonna say NiP, you're gonna double stack your jungle for your Shadow Fiend, for your Wisp. You're gonna raise it, you're gonna farm. You're not gonna have too much aggression early on with Wisp and Bane. Let's take advantage of that by being greedy ourselves. Enigma is the fastest farmer in the jungle, so essentially Alliance is gonna farm 4 lanes, 4 cores. And NiP is very much so mid-game centric with their Shadow Fiend and Slardar lineup, so I think Alliance is looking to out-greed them and out-late them. And so far, it's looking like it's a great game plan.
And now, final pick for the side of NiP. And, well, what are the options they're looking like for what we'd imagine to be Jonas and fans here of this game? And
well, Burden United paired their Slardar with a Centaur, which gave them the double Blink Dagger initiation. The weakness of that particular draft was that before the Blink Dagger initiation, they were pretty soft in terms of having a way to initiate. So there is that. I mean, if this was Burden United, Mirana would be a decent kind of dual offlane with Bane, but I'm not sure.
I mean, what about something like the Jonas and Fan Legion? You know, good against the Bristle, forcing you to face him.
There's a lot of ways to really punish him,
mess up the duel,
Not just mess up, I mean, he's initiating for you when you just Death Ward in, Post Nova him.
That's true,
The mini stun from the battery stall is going to be annoying.
I mean, what about the puck?
What about the puck? I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's a laning stage, right? It always comes back to that.
Let's have a look. What are they going to go for here? This is big for NiP, of course, and it's the darks here. Okay. And I like it, you know, in terms of the whole kind of, you know, vacuum into Crush from Slardar, the Requiem of Souls, there is the potential for big plays to come out from the side of NiP, but at the same time, there is also for Alliance. They've got the Black Hole, they've got the Death Ward, they're going to have the Bristleback running just havoc around these fights, and I think we're going to see another very active game between these two sides, Lumi.
Which draft do you like more? Just like from a gut feeling, like Logic's toss on the table.
I feel NiP could do it with this lineup.
Okay.
I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some very special performances coming out from these guys, and I don't know, I think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be a very close matchup. For yourself?
Owen, I got to tell you a secret.
Okay.
I'm a Slardar hater.
You're a Slardar? Really?
I mean, I love playing him in pub games and whatnot.
But you just feel competitive level?
Like, look at him. He's got like little light thingy dang on his head. Like, it's not a... He always loses in pro games. Doesn't bring home the bacon.
Well, we'll see if NiP can win you over here, Lucas.
All right, we'll see.
They're going to be bringing their A game here, looking to draw this one out to a 3rd game if possible. And of course, if they lose this game, NiP, they will be out of the tournament, and Alliance will be proceeding to the next level. And well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 of the best of 3, and Alliance versus NiP here with myself, ODPixel, and Lumi. And let's have a look what's going on the side of Alliance. You're going to be having Mad here on the Enigma. It's going to be Bulldog on his solo lane clock once again. Pycat on the mid lane. Leshrak, Ake on the Witch Doctor. And that's going to leave Loader, of course, on that position 1 Bristleback. Lumi, who are we seeing and what are we seeing from NiP?
All right, meanwhile, on the dire side, we have Johannes Fan on the bottom side, on the dark side. Looks like he's dropping a pretty deep board here. Back in the mid lane, Shadow Fiend being handled by Arab. Is this a mid Shadow Fiend or safe lane Shadow Fiend? This looks like a mid Shadow Fiend to me. We have Wisp being handled by Hanskin on the top part of the map. Limp playing that Sarlar. Last but not least is Seal Kid playing Bane.
Okay, I mean, they're switching around the roles, and understandably so. I mean, we see Limp play heroes, you know, like the TA, like the Puck. He's the playmaker. He's on the kind of the same level as Jonas and Fan. He's going to be looking for a lot of the action, and Slardar, he's a perfect hero for that. If you can get a decent timing on the Blink Dagger, you can certainly see why they put Limp on this hero this game.
Yeah, I did make the offhand comment the other day that I feel like Era is the Mushi of the West because he's been playing a lot of different heroes.
Yes.
Ranging from Pugna to Storm, now mid Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopters and things like that. We'll see how he's gonna adjust to this particular game.
Indeed, looks like the lanes are selling up pretty much how we've expected. Both teams, respectively, keeping it as a safe lane for their cores, and they're going to leave just solo off lanes on the off lanes this time. We're not going to see any kind of aggressive tri lanes coming out from either sides of this matchup. And well, mid lane is going to be Arrow being helped out at the start here by Hanskit, just on the eye, trying to create some space. As we said, the Shadow Fiend kind of needs that against Aleshrak early on.
He kind of needs that against most of everybody.
Yeah.
His damage is not too great. And I imagine Hanskin will disappear off the jungle now to start stacking multiple camps.
Oh, hello, bottom lane. I mean, Jonas taking a lot of harassment there. He's prepared though. He's got the salve and the tangos, but even so, just showing that he's got to be careful against this Bristleback and Witch Doctor.
Yeah, even though it looks a little bit rough in the beginning, I think the lane will get a lot better. Once he gets Surge, he's pretty much unkillable at that point. And then once he gets level 2 Iron Shell, I think Loda will start having trouble dealing with him. Loda holding to that mango. And eats it now.
I just keep those cool spray stacks up and try to keep some fun as far back as possible. Clockwork, in terms of his offlane situation, Bulldog, he's having to deal up with the Bane and the Slardar. And do you feel this quite a nice line for Bulldog?
I mean, I think if Bulldog keeps his health constantly at like 90 to 100%, sure, there's a nightmare.
Oh, look at this mid lane. Iris trying to go in very deep. He has got the regen from Hanskin. Ake trying to help Pycat. No one's going to go down here, and both teams just going very, very action orientated on each other in the mid lane.
I think NiP should be fine for now, given the fact that Wisp is getting these runes, he's stacking the jungle. This is going to be his second double stack. Let's see if he makes it. I think he mistimes it, so...
Let's see. He's going for it. He's so... No, not today.
I mean, it's a small thing, but that missed that cost him like 100 gold or so.
Indeed, it adds up. But 2 minutes in, still lane-wise, in terms of the CS between the two. Shadow Fiend's getting a pretty good lead against Pycat, and the Eye has certainly helped out. But again, we've seen Pycat recover from some pretty bad lanes, so...
Yeah, and he's not having bad lane at all.
No, it's not awful. No.
So you were asking how this top lane is going to work out.
Yeah.
I think, you obviously worry about the Nightmare into the Crush initiation, but I think if you keep your health at 100%, you're generally not dying to that combo. Unless Lim gets a lucky bash, but he hasn't skilled bash, and I don't think he will skill the bash. Most Slaughter just maxes the stun as well as the sprint.
And one thing that's kind of impressive at the moment, Bulldog, he's getting the same amount of CS as the Darkseer, from the offlane, which is quite something, as you'd expect the Darkseer to do so, but maybe there would have been the potential for the Bane to zone out the Clockwork a little bit more than there has been so far, and Clock's, Bulldog's been fine.
Yeah. I think it speaks to the fact that NiP has sort of weak supports in the lane. They don't really threaten the kills, and that's why Emerald Bulldog could just willy-nilly walk in the lane and go for lasts. And Sealkey coming around here. Threatening to grasp, but I think he has to be careful. Emerald Bulldog is could kill. He has level 2 in battery assault.
Mid lane, seeing Alliance, they really want to be there in case Aero tries to go aggressive with the backup of Io. Even Mad kind of moving away from the jungle there just to try and fend them off, but Mad at the moment is jungle, it's been undisturbed. We haven't seen any kind of warding coming out to disrupt the Enigma's jungle, and he's having a grand old time at the moment, sitting halfway through level 4.
I do want to speak to the Wisp helping out in the mid lane though. Not only is he stacking for the Shadow Fiend, he's regenerating the Shadow Fiend definitely with the bottle. That allows Shadow Fiend to go boots first.
Yes.
Which is actually a great defensive item against the slow from Leshrac as well as like Cast from Witch Doctor. As most normal Shadow Fiend go bottle first if he does not have the babysitting.
Indeed, and what we're talking about in the first game, when do you feel we're going to kind of see the action kick off? What is going to be the first movement from each of the sides? I mean, is it going to be leaving the jungle smoking up, or are we going to be looking at NiP? Are they just going to be playing it a little bit more reserved until they find something like the Slardar? Oh, Blink Dagger, well, he's actually going to go in here with the crush onto Bulldog. Bulldog will pop the battery assault, but there are 2 heroes here tanking it up. Can they bring down Bulldog? He's going to pop the cogs. He's actually going to bring Limp in even closer. He's trying to chase one down with his splint. Can he find this node with the battery assault? Mini stuns, and now Limpy's going to be in trouble. Bulldog's salving up. He's trying to turn this one around. He's got the rocket flare, bring it, Limp! No, the tower hit, the cell, keeping him alive, 4 HP, and that's going to allow us to find first blood elsewhere as mid lane. Pycat does take down the Io, But Lim keeping himself alive there, that horde only just thanks to that South.
I mean, both teams were using South, and Lim got a lucky Stout Shield proc because one of the creeps was hitting him then. But is it over yet? Because Admiral Bulldog's got rockets. Does he have the spider sense?
Is he going to try for it?
He's got to try. Okay. Really, Bulldog?
Oh,
Come on.
Not today. Doesn't want to opt for it.
You miss all the rockets you don't shoot, man.
Indeed. But still, obviously, Alliance going to be happy with the fact that they did get the first burn. They got it for Pycat as well there in the mid lane.
So 2 games in a row. Looks like Pycat's going to be off to a great start. Well, last game he didn't have a great start, but he had a powerful mid game.
We certainly didn't. Looks like we're just going to have a quick break here so far. But still, lane-wise, in terms of the farm, you know, Shadowfiend Error, of course, on the mid lane. He's found 31 CS, and in terms of the stacks that have been created, you know, he's got the ability to take those down as well. So it's going to look all right for the Shadowfiend. I mean, look at the stacks that have been created. We've got them in a couple of camps at the moment, thanks to the IO. And Error, he's certainly got the potential to become very scary this game.
They definitely know that NiP is stacking for the jungle, and frankly, I think they're fine with it. Because if you look at Enigma, he's having a grand time of his own. And Enigma, you were asking, you know, when is going to be the first point of action. Enigma could actually just push the wave along with the siege creep. You eat their siege creep with your the mana conversion, you push along with your own siege creep, and you create a fairly decent sized push, like 6 or 7 minutes into the game. If they don't go for that, they could wait for level 6 on Clockwork. They have quite a bit of time before NiP can do anything. And then anything will start with a Blink Dagger on Slaughter or level 6 of their own on Wisp. And I don't think they're nearing either. So I think a majority of the early game is going to be in hands of Alliance.
I mean, they know, of course, that these camps are being cleared, and they want to do something. Hansken is already very low, and well, the split up onto Error, the lightning, the bounces towards Hansken. That's one. They're going to look for 2 as well as Bulldog moving in closer and closer. Can they catch Error here? Well, oh no, it's going to continue. Jonas and Fan going forward with the Iron Shell. They'll bring down Ake, and he find Pycat as well. Got the back of a Hansken. Lim's trying to move as well here on the Slardar. They're trying to close this gap. The vacuum doesn't catch him. But nonetheless there, NiP, they do find themselves 2 kills off the back of Alliance.
It's great kill for the Darkseer, but he journeyed all the way from the bottom lane, and meanwhile, you know, Loda has uninterrupted farm. He's just hanging out. So I think it's for both sides. Alliance, yeah, they lost the support. They're okay with it.
And how's Limp doing in terms of Godamo? So he went for the finished treads. He's got 500 at the moment. Would you expect him to just go straight for the blink now?
I think so. There are a couple of players that might opt for a smaller item first, maybe like drums or urns or something like that, but I think they are behind such that they just need some way to fight themselves back into this game. And the fight item is the Blink Dagger. Yeah,
Blink is going to be massive if they can get it. And, well, top rune. It's going to be maybe a bit of a fight here. Bulldog, yeah, he's going to get nightmared up, and Error moving forward here with the race with a black hole onto Error and onto Hansken. Bulldog and Ake going to work. They'll bring down the Iron. Pycat's coming as well. It's a double kill for Bulldog there, and Mad making sure that the first black hole of the game counts.
It's like casually walking in there without any vision of NiP. Just, black hole. Okay.
And that's indeed. I mean, Loden just heads up to get that bottom rune, and as you said, the farm's looking good for the Brisk back. But at the same time, you know, look over to the side of the dice. Shadowfiend sitting on 3.5k net worth at the moment, only just slightly behind the Leshrac. And I kind of feel it's going to be that point when NiP get the items like the blink on the Slardar. And, you know, what's he deciding to build? Is he going for the mech? He is going for the mech. When they've got the mech and the blink, that's going to be the go time for NiP, and we're going to see if they're able to take these fights. Mid lane, they'll try and set something up here. Sealkid with Nightmare onto Pycap. It's going to be toggled off by Ake. Take him over the team. He will pay for his life there. 6. They want to maybe try and turn this in. They will. Bulldog getting the timing right, getting the hookshot onto Sealkid. They should be able to find 1 kill in return, and they will do indeed. And can they find anything more here? No, Pycap backs up to the high ground. He maybe wants to try and go for this, but no, he's only got the backup of Bulldog, and with the hookshot down, they won't find anything more. But a 1-for-1 trade there, Alliance making sure that they come out even.
Yeah, you were talking about the key item that NiP is looking for, and those items are kind of far apart or far away, and that's going to give Emerald Bulldog a ton of time to find these tanks. I think once the cooldown is ready, he's gonna go for yet another kill and yet another kill. I think NiP supports, they don't really have a way to deal with this Clockwork that's running rampage all over the map. You don't have, for example, a Rubik that could lift him out of the cogs when he goes onto your course. So I think Admiral Bulldog, once again, just from the draft alone, will have a big game.
Indeed, I mean, in terms of the mech timing as well, you know, we're looking at Enigma working towards his Mad in comparison to Aaron. Even though Aaron might get it slightly before, and it's going to be close between the two sides. And we, you know, we're talking about the go time for NiP. Once Alliance have that mech online as well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them grouping up and looking to push. I mean, how's Loader doing in terms of his first big item? He's picked up the VIP booster here, and I imagine he will look to finish that off into the Vanguard, into the Crimson Guard. And again, the pushing power from Alliance is going to be quite something once they get these items online.
Yeah, normally I'm a big fan of Vanguard on Bristleback. Just something to mention is that Amateur Lock is pretty ineffective against minus armor, and there's minus armor in spades from Shadowfiend as well as the Slaughter. So I think the Vanguard's great, but he needs to kind of transition into another item pretty quickly. What to the FMY, maybe upgrade his boots, for example. We'll see what Loda eventually ends up going for.
Indeed, well, both sides just kind of taking it easy at the moment, hanging back, trying to keep themselves up in terms of the farm game. And yeah, Mad, well, he's pretty much got enough here for that mechanism. And well, Jonathan Fan heading towards the bottom. How's he doing in terms of the item build? I mean, for the Darkseer, with the fact that you've got the Shadowfiend building the mech, what does the Darkseer go for as the first item in this game for the team?
I think the last time we seen the Darkseer was able to have a great start. He went pipe for his team to push.
Okay.
But this is not that type of game, right? No. There's no pushing going on for NiP.
Did you get a blink yourself first?
Let me ponder that for a bit, because Darkseer is one of those heroes that could pretty much get away with a ton of different items.
Yes.
Blink and BKB being the Team 5 variant. But this game, it feels like Alliance could strike in multiple ways. They definitely have the Team 5 with the Black Hole and the Death Ward and the Hook Initiation. At the same time, they're great ganking as well. So, I honestly don't know. We'll see what he actually ends up going for.
I just have a quick pause here, but this is going to be interesting. We're seeing, obviously, Alliance looking for some action, and both teams actually picking up the mech at pretty much the same time here. They're both going to have it for the next fight, and we're going to see who comes out and top them. We're also going to see if Alliance are actually able to catch anyone out here. I mean, obviously notable, Limp needs to be careful as well. Sitting on 1900 gold, it's going to be pretty big if they can take him down now. It's going to slow down that blink just that little bit more, because Limp, he's so close to it. Yeah,
he feels safe because he has a lane ward, but it's a trap because they're smoked up.
It certainly is. I mean, the question is, could they get the TP reactions in time? Who's actually got a TP available? Era's not got one in the SF. It's still on cooldown for the IO. Does have relocate if he wants to try and look for a play to help him. Seal Kid hasn't got one. Jonathan Fan does. Well, this is the question. Does Limp get caught out here? 3 heroes.
They have relocate. So that's something that Alliance has to be really careful about. If you relocate, hook shot is going to hit. Are they going to relocate for him? That's a question. Limp just get 1 TP, but he's just dying way too quick. NiP doesn't want to relocate into a black hole because that could be pretty bad.
Indeed. Well, with that kill, he loses about 200 gold as well, going back down to the 1700s. So that blink being held back, and well, off the back of that, with the fact that they've got this Enigma up here, Alliance, they should look to take this, and they'll almost certainly get away with it, getting themselves a tier 1 from the side of NiP. But NiP, they're looking for a push themselves here in the mid lane. Pycat trying to do his best to stop it, but Era, he's going to stand his ground. Of course, he's got that mech, he's fairly tanky now, ready for this, and Lotus actually leading in, maybe seeing if he can kick something off here. He's out of mana, he's got 3 bolt charges to continue the fight, and they're going in on Era. They're going to have to relocate though, bring him back into the high ground. And the question is, do they continue to fight off the back of this Alliance? They're getting ready. There is a black hole available on Madden. Well, the question is if you can do something big with this one, but Alliance, yeah, looks like they realized that NiP really wanted to fight off the back of that, and they don't actually go for the IO on the relocate. And they do get the John Eye there, though, on the middle tower, as well as Bulldog just continuing to farm here on the top lane.
Yeah, something that we didn't really talk about during the draft is that Enigma is really good against those ganking relocates. It's just a telegraphed, easy black hole spot. So if NiP is not aware where that Enigma is, they can't really just use that relocate willy-nilly. Suddenly it could be a 3-man black hole, and the gank turns around.
Let's see if Limp can find that blink. He's found himself a bit more safety here in the top lane now that the lane's pushed in. Kind of working for him here. in the sense that he can farm a little bit closer to home. And, well, just 100 gold to go. Yeah, he's going to have the blink ready this time. And for the next fight, we're going to see the blink on him. Of course, we're seeing the mech on Error as well on the Shadow Fiend. And NiP, they're going to be in a much better position to look for the clashes with Alliance.
Yeah. The Crimson Guard is going to get upgraded by Loda, and the armor aspect of Crimson Guard is excellent. Because, like we said, he needs as much armor as he could get on the front line. Tier 1 tower is going to get brought down without too much of a fight. I imagine the action is going to pick up now. The Blink Dagger is online. On Limp.
And there we go. They want to use it straight away. Limp making a beeline towards the mid lane. The question is, does anyone from the side of Alliance come out for this? And well, without the tier 1 there, you know, sort of been taken down. I don't think they do. And I think they're going to smoke up. They realize they're going to have to go a little bit deeper if they want to try and find a fight. And Alliance themselves, they're keeping close together. Going to be ready to try and fight back if NiP decides to jump on it. Well, Seal Kid, he's going to find Loader now, jumping straight in here with the Blink Dagger. They're trying to do what they can with the cast because we've already thrown out. Ake here from the sidelines with the Death Ward, bringing Limp fairly low. And now Pycat trying to find the split earth. It's not going to latch onto Limp as he's able to split away. And of course, with his Blink, maybe he goes back in for more. He's got a couple of Quill Spray stacks already on him, but Hans kept backing him up. It's going to mean they can continue to fight. Matt's going to get taken down here. That's going to be the first kill. There's going to be a bite from Enigma. Now Error here with the Requiem Missiles, bringing Bulldog low, but the mech, it comes out in time from Matt as he returns to the fight. And now, with a Black Hole, it's only going to be onto one, but it will secure them the kill onto the Bane. Now, Load on the front of this fight, he's keeping the Quill Spray up on Air and everyone else, but Lim, he blinks back in. He wants to try and fight this one as they continue to bring them low, but the Voodoo Restoration is keeping Pycat only just alive. It looks like our Alliance are going to be okay for the time being. Matt, he's on the front of it, taking the brunt of the attack from Error. But it looks like NiP can't find it. Oh, maybe they can. Blinking onto Loader. They really want to find this Loader. He's fairly tanky. Is he tanky enough? The heals from Ake. He's got 2 points of the Voodoo Restoration, and it looks like it's all that's needed at the moment, keeping Loader alive. He's able to get himself back up to the high ground. And Matt, does he want to... Yeah, I don't know if he wants to try and go back into that one, but still, nonetheless, it's just a 1-for-1 with Mad buying back. And I've got to say, that buyback from the Enigma pretty much ensured there with the mech and everything else that NiP didn't find anything more from that fight.
Yeah, even though the Meko only caught one, the buyback was very much so necessary. If they didn't have the buyback, like you said, the person that he didn't mech would die. Very well played by NiP. They had a good sense of what they can't dive into and what they can. The Slaughter blinking in multiple times, yet retreating very quickly as he felt the team fight was not going their way. And if NiP continue to fight the way that they've been fighting, it's going to be their mid game. The question is, what are they doing with the smoke? Are they trying to sneak Roche? This is... I'm not sure. Well, Black Hole is down. Black Hole is down. But they do have the scouting. Are they going to just wait out this rocket and immediately start Roshan?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, after they've scouted Alliance, they feel safe, and they're actually going to look for a fight in the dire jungle. They've got no idea that NiP made this movement here, and NiP, they're going to go to work, and of course with Limp, with the Amplify Error, it's just the 1 point in the presence of the Dark Lord, but it's still going to help out with the amount of physical damage coming out. They should be able to get this, but they might lose the Darkseer as getting caught out in the top lane will get taken down. So they lose the Darkseer, but they will find the Roche almost certainly here. I mean, they're going to stick around here on the top lane. They're not going to look to head down there. So losing the Darkseer, getting the Roche and the Aegis, do you think NiP will be happy with that one?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I think, well, actually, I think it's pretty important that they have Aegis on the Shadow Fiend, because he's definitely the most important target for Alliance.
Yeah.
Him having Requiem Souls out to reduce the damage output of Alliance is pretty big. Sorry, what did I called it before?
Oh, something crazy, Loomis.
Sonic Requiem Black Souls. Oh, yeah. Anyways, it's a Vanguard on Darkseid. What do you think about this? It's definitely not the most standard item choice.
Well, I guess there's a fair bit of physical damage that you can block out. And with the amount of fights that are going on, you know, maybe it will allow Unison Fan to ensure that he can stay alive for long enough to get out the combo. I mean, at level 9, he's still yet to skill the wall, but obviously we'll see him hit 10 and 11. He will have that one available for the team fights as well. But 94 at the moment, in terms of the gross, what kind of difference are we seeing? Well, it's a 5k in terms of net worth and 3k in terms of XP. So it's not too massive, but at the same time, you know, Alliance, they are certainly playing from ahead at this point.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that he didn't upgrade into Arcane Boots, Darkseer, because his mana pool is actually very small, and judging from how these fights are going, they're going to last quite a while. And I think the sustaining part of him is going to be an issue. And I'm sure heroes like Shadow Fiend and Slaughter would not mind the extra mana being granted by the Arcane, but he wants to rush to the Vanguard, and I imagine that he probably will go into the Crimson Guard as well for more team fight. This is a very strange game because on one side NiP has the Slardar, they have to relocate, they have to blink, but they've only fought once. It's the clear the Roshan. It seems like NiP is more comfortable going into more of a farming game.
I mean, yeah, we haven't really seen that many offensive relocates at all. They're certainly kind of using it as more a defense mechanism, just for kind of just keeping the team alive when the rest of NiP look to fight. And well, they were looking for Loda there, but Loda's able to get himself away speedily enough on that bristleback. And
I think also a key item to look for either of the two NiP core is to go for Silver Edge.
Okay.
I mean, you gotta break that bristleback.
Yeah, Silver Edge would be an interesting pickup. And well, talking about pickups, how's Era doing on this BKB? He was very close to the recipe a second ago, and yeah, so he has got the completed recipe that he can get sent out to him. That's going to be fairly good, of course, against that Leshrac in these fights, but there's a fair bit on the
relocate. It's going to go on the middle of the map right now. Is it into the black hole? That's the question right now. Map trying to run away, but there's offensive duels being used. Stun will hit on Era, who does not have the BKB delivery yet. And there's that offensive relocate not working out, but here comes the hook from Ammo Bulldog, and suddenly don't back him out here from Johannes fan, but he is still trapped in there, and Alliance will pick up a kill. Indeed. Unfortunately from Alliance, they can't get too many map objectives out of this. It's just a kill.
No. I mean, still, yeah, 10-4 and killing it. Next time, you know, Era will have that BKB on him now. It's all been delivered. And Darren Hansken just looking to take the most of this open lane at the top, getting some damage down to the tier 1. On the top lane, but Loda with a double damage bottled up. IO popping an Invis route. Maybe they can try and go for something. Here we go again with the Yule setup on Era. He has got that BKB, but he's going to need to try and get it off if he wants to try and turn and fight this one. He's turning around with the punches onto Pyjamas. Loda, he's making a beeline straight for Hansken here, trying to bring down the IO. And now Mad going forward. They should be able to find the IO, and they certainly will do there as the ball pops, and Loda gets himself a kill. And it will just be that for the time being as Era is able to get himself out to safety.
Bottom lane.
He's down to bottom. That's just Fiend Script setting up the blink. Limp going in, going ham, and well, he'll get the kill onto Bulldog there as well. So more money for Limp, and that's going to help him towards a BKB of his own.
Or is it a BKB?
I think Silver Edge,
I think BKB is the much safer choice and the choice that Limp will end up going. But again, I do want to mention that Silver Edge is a straight up counter to that bristleback until he gets his own BKB, which Loda is working on right now.
Oh, Pyjamas. Is he going to get the slow here? And well, Limp blinking back in for a bit of CS. Maybe his group will cost him. He's got the backup of Seal Kid and still the pulse over. There's going to be a relocating as well. And well, NiP, they want to turn this. Oh, the physical damage.
Where did he go?
Blowing up Pyjamas and Ake and Loda. They're like, well, we probably don't want to stick around for this one. And then Limp, he's going in. He's going for more. He'll be able to bash down Ake. Loda trying to do what he can, but the wall's being dropped here by NiP. Bulldog's turning up to the fight. Era popping the BKB, trying to get the punches onto Loda. Bulldog will hook shot onto Limp, trapping him here under the tower. Limp trying to do what he can. The battery assault making it very hard for the Slardar to fight. He does manage to sprint himself away. And now it's Era in trouble, man. Going forward here. Era trying to turn it, but the mini stuns there holding him back. And Seal Kid will be able to control Loda here with the Enfeeble.
Man's still got that black hole. He's holding on to it. He doesn't want to just black hole the solo Shadow Fiends. He's got Aegis, but he's going to blink forward. No! Aegis expires! It's going to black hole him now! Great patience from effing Mad. Gets a very important kill on a normally immortal Shadow Fiend with BKB mech.
And that was a big kill at the end of that fight, but still, I mean, at NiP, they did find something from it. We saw Limp go in, and he went in hard, and he was able to find a lot, and in terms of the money towards his BKB as well, on top of the Ogre Club, 2k now.
Mid lane, can Pyka get the Yules off? Looks like not. What do you think about the Yules choice in Leshrac? It's definitely an item
doing a lot.
Yeah, it's letting them initiate when they don't really have the best initiator. Clockwork is not, I mean, he's a great initiator, but he's not finding the hooks. And of course, Blink Dagger on Enigma is also a great initiator, but he doesn't want to kind of be the first one in. So this is a very non-committal way to pick up an enemy, land a stun, and go from there.
Yeah, it's certainly working quite well for them so far. Unless she's going to go, of course, with the Bloodstone after the Yours. Are we seeing anything else coming out fairly big from either side? I mean, Bane's got 1,200 gold towards Blink, and well, that's going to be Mad finishing off the Guardian Greaves this game, Luna.
The Guardian Greaves being able to dispel that that amplified damage on him, which is nice, but honestly, that's pretty much all it's doing. Is there anything else that's big?
I guess it's just the aura as well for the fights, you know, the extra arm, the extra HP regen.
It's great for Bristleback because he's constantly at low health, and it gives what, plus 15 armor when he's low.
15 HP, but yeah, it's pretty tasty. I mean, it costs a bit, but you got to be honest. Mad's been pretty rich this game. He's been finding a lot. And well, it's 12 to 7 at the moment. In terms of the graphs, they're still kind of hanging around that 4K. You know, Alliance are yet to break ahead even more. NiP are keeping control of them. And it's kind of just down to, whether Limp can find these initiations and whether Era can find himself in the position to get the damage out. And Alliance, they want to fight. They smoke up, heading into the jungle. Mad, he hasn't got the black hole, but with all the other tools that Alliance have got at their disposal, I don't think they really care. They can still quite easily fight.
NiP needs to be... I mean, I think this is going to be a defensive relocate back out. But no, they're going to go right on the Wisp first. He played. No more defensive relocate. Era trying to fight. No, he's going to just BKB TP. So I think the end result was the same, but they got a BKB out of that Shadow Fiend. And that was a 9-second BKB. So pretty big pickup there.
And with the BKB on cooldown, maybe they want to try and push and force NiP to fight again. They've got 3 heroes here on the side of Alliance, focusing on getting this momentum going. Just going to head back towards the mid lane where we do have Darksea and some fan to push on of his own. Now, let's see if he's going to come out from Bulldog. He's got a hook shot available here. There's a ward, of course, spotting this one out, but he's not going to go for it this time, and he's just going to keep himself out of the fight.
Darkseer is going to be going for the Core Staff, which is, again, a great pickup against the Clockwork. And, you know, if somebody gets Yules and then stun, you can force them out as well.
And what's that coming out here for Limp? Okay, yeah, so he opts for BKB this game. We're not
a safe choice.
It is indeed.
NiP gets illusion baited once again.
And I've got to be honest, this game, I kind of feel NiP in a much better position than they were in game 1 in terms of the ability to turn it.
They are, but I feel like NiP's lineup is very mid-game based. Because I think Slardar is one of those heroes that could fall off, and the way that Shadow Fiend's being built, he's built a lot of defensive items, so his damage is going to be pretty lackluster for the next 10 to 15 minutes until he picks up some hard-hitting items. So I feel like this is where Alliance could really go hard and punish them with things like Black Hole, Clockwork picking up some key items, and if you look towards Bristleback, he opted for the BKB to start with, and then he went back for the plate mail, feeling that he needs a little bit more armor.
Okay, indeed interesting to see what they decided to end up with there. And who's that second Ogre Club coming out for? Oh, he's coming out from Mad, yeah. He's going to look to try and find a BKB for himself on Enigma. And, oh, okay, yeah, they might find him here. Limp's coming in, we'll flick straight onto Loader. There's going to be a relocate coming in as well. And then they're ready to go Requiem into the face of the Bristleback. They'll find Loader here. Can they find anything more? Unison fan forcing himself forward. Won't find the Vacuum on 21. He gets held back by the Yules from Pycat. But hey, nonetheless, take down Loader. That's a big kill for the side of NiP.
Yeah, Bulldog missed his hook on Sealkid, who was standing there, but I think it's a good thing that he missed, because if he went in, I think Loader would have still died, and Bulldog would have died right along.
Oh, this is good as well for NiP. If they can take down Loader and use this window of opportunity to bring down Roshan, this is going to be very nice for the Dire.
And they'll bring it down very quickly. Hook is on cooldown. The only thing Alliance got really for this is a Black Hole. Let's see how well Mad can play.
He's moving in. They're all ready to try and catch this one. I think NiP realized that it's a little bit risky to hang around for this one. Mad, he's trying to find the position, but Limp, he wants to go in first. Maybe they can see if they can catch out Alliance before Alliance catch them out. And NiP, they're going to go back in. I
don't think they can. It's just way too dangerous, but they're going to go for it. Black Hole is available.
Good shot. They can see this with the rocket flare. Do they want to go? Nah, they're just going to let this one go, and they will get the Aegis there. NiP onto Era.
Yeah, great position. Sealkid essentially was playing like the Secret Service. He's standing around the Roshan pits like, alright, hook in. I dare you. You'll get me instead. So NiP gets the Aegis. Although the last one didn't really do too much for them. In fact, I think the last one baited them because they're like, alright, we got Aegis, let's go fight. But effing Mad waited out the Aegis. That was still a spectacular play in my opinion.
Indeed. And, well, the fact that, you know, NiP, they've still got the Shadow Fiend at the top of the board. I mean, you look at Era's farm and pretty impressive. 13.3k. You know, he's over 2,000 ahead of the Leshrac from the side of Alliance, and he opts for the X and Y this game, Lumi.
Yeah, it's a great mid-game item, and you know, their mid-game team gives you a ton of damage, move speed. And honestly, this is a fine game later on if you want to break it into Manta plus Silver Edge.
Yes, yeah, I guess there's
if
always
it's
that
a long-term consideration, but for now, it's a great mid-game SN1. But I think NiP is just looking for picks. They're playing in a similar position where Alliance was in last game, where they have the more mobile lineup, they have the better ganking lineup. Alliance, I think they're just looking to farm up. Leshrac wants that item, and Bristle wants that AC.
Well, NiP, they just want to try and take this tier 2 down from the bottom. Alliance hanging around the mid. Limp, he's actually wrapping around here, maybe seeing if they can do anything. They're going to spot out Bulldog, and here we go, straight in with the blink. They've got the amplifier as well. The damage is flying through with the brain stab, bringing him low. Bulldog trying to get himself out the hook shot onto Ake. Bulldog going to be able to keep himself alive. Seal Kid, he's chasing these ones down. Maybe he can try and catch someone out with the Phoenix Grip or with the Nightmare. He's moving in. It is just Ake and Bulldog here at the moment on this top lane. Ping's coming out, in fact, onto Mad. They need him to back up. They need him to help. The tier 1 is still here, and that's going to be Alliance. They could DP in, and this maybe might not be the fight for NiP. And bringing Ake in, he will be able to find the Witch Doctor. Loader has turned up to the fight, though. Seal is going to get chucked up, and now your Black Hole onto the wrist of NiP by the tower, catching Limp out. Limp will go down. Jonas Man is able to get down the wall, and Era actually finding a double kill. Era's just cleaning up house at the moment. He's going to try and fight Loader, and now with Jonas Man and Seal moving in as well. This is a great fight for NiP, and if they can find the Bristleback, this is going to be huge. Handscared turning up as well, keeping Era topped up. They're going for Loader. He's fair tank. He's just trying to turn and maybe even find the eye. Handscared's going to get surged away. He's going to be able to keep the distance. Era coming through with the raises, doing what he can against Loader. Loader trying to walk this one off. Bulldog, he has got a hook shot. He should be able to save Loader if necessary. And
he's got Force Staff too.
Yeah.
He can use it right now. The Clogs is available. So, in fact, he hooks back in. He finds two. I'm not sure he wants to fight this. The Blame Out being activated. Era in a lot of trouble, but he still has the Aegis. Meanwhile, Loader still wants to look for more. They have Surge available. Vacuum onto the high ground. Think about your mistakes, Loda. Chill on the high ground.
And indeed, he's going to have to chill there for a bit by the looks of that. And that was a very, very nice fight overall over the... It's quite a long one. NiP, they're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, the Black Hole was excellent. Unfortunately, Leshrac was not there to deal the damage. Leshrac was kind of trapped between 3 NiP heroes, and he just got blown up. This is not the normal Leshrac game where we see, the Bloodstone first into BKB, where he's just immortal in the middle of the fights. This is a Leshrac that's kind of dancing around, not being able to survive long enough to do damage. He's forced to go things like defensive Yules, defensive Ghost Scepters, and imagine the defensive BKB has to come out next as well.
And Lumi, you're going to be happy about this, because if you look over at Era, he has now got the recipe and the amulet for his silver egg. So he is indeed going to disassemble the S&Y and look to get that, and he's got it. So in these next fights, as you said, Bristleback is going to be increasingly squishier.
Yeah. I mean, the next fight, I imagine he's going to finish the AC for Loda, and the BKB has to come out. So once the BKB is out, you have that interesting dance of, are you going to Silver Edge him first, or are you going to wait for him to BKB first? Hold that dot, Slaughter initiating on the right side, Relocate coming in as well. And that Leshrac dies. It seems like Leshrac, at least in this series, is just not having a good time. Those Bloodstone is dwindling quite rapidly.
He wants more. Look at this, blinking forward very aggressively, trying to find something from the jungle. He's going to spot out Maddie, but Maddie, he's going to be able to blink away, and NiP aren't going to be able to catch anyone else out on the side of Alliance here, but still, as you're saying, being happy with that kill. And Seal Kid with the Shadow Amulet, moving into the money for the Cloak. He's going to be getting the Glimmer Cape online fairly shortly. Yeah,
the big difference in this game for Alliance, this has Clockwork, they really need that secondary follow-up initiator to go with the Clock. Clock could hook in, and we saw that from the river, right? But really, who has that mobility to go in alongside to deal the damage? It's not Crack, because he's kind of dying. It's not Bristleback. So I felt like they need something like a Storm or a Queen of Pain that could blink in and follow up with a Sonic Wave or some right-click damage. Right now, this Clockwork, despite Bulldog playing it very well, just not having the impact that he needs to have for his team.
Still, Era just getting larger and larger here. Now, 5,000 difference, and look at the swing as well. We saw Alliance maintain a kind of steady lead, but after those last two fights, it's just skyrocketed back down into the favor of NiP, and suddenly it's Alliance playing from behind.
Yeah. Now, normally you say, looking at how the game goes, all right, NiP is going to control the map, they're going to keep getting rolled on, and the game is eventually going to starve out Alliance. But Alliance got an excellent Roshan squad, so NiP's got to think, twice before walking in there confidently. We still haven't seen that black hole from effing Mad, the game-turning black hole. Will he find it? That's the question. Working on his own BKB.
Blink Dagger come out for Jonas now on the Darkseer, and Loda has got the 80 complete. And now I kind of feel Loda is one of the biggest issues for NiP. I mean, we saw in that last fight, they just couldn't kill him. I mean, they put him on a cliff, but they could not kill the Bristleback. Now he's got an SC as well. They're going to have to commit so much to taking down Loda. They do have that Silver Edge, though, which is going to kind of be their saving grace to a certain point, but still, this Bristleback's going to have the potential to cause absolute havoc in the 5-on-5 engagements.
Question is, do they need to kill him?
I guess that's the thing, yeah.
Can you leave him? I mean, yeah, he's going to hurt a bit. He's going to whack your supports around. But I feel like right now NiP kills the Alliance heroes much quicker. And then at the end, you're going to have that Bristleback. Sure, he's kind of immortal, but he's also not killing your team. And also helps the fact that Wisp just picked up the Vlads. So that's +5 armor.
Oh, wow.
Excellent against the Quill Spray damage. That's going to be peppered out by Loda.
And of course, it's going to be very nice for these right clickers in the fight as well on the side of NiP. And well, Pycat doing what he can here with the Lightning Storm still. No looking to jump in as of yet. Bulldog possibly working towards. He's going for that Aghanim again after the 4 stuff. But he's got a fair bit to go before he gets that one online. And I mean, in your perspective, is there a side that's going to be more hungry for fighting at this point, a little bit too scared of letting the game go late, or are they both going to be happy just kind of taking it easy and just farming up on the cores now?
I personally don't think Slardar is a great late game hero.
Okay.
Simply because there's going to be a point in the game where supports could pick up multiple 4 staffs to start kiting him. With that said, if you look over to the line support, Witch Doctor is poor. I mean, he's gone for the point booster.
Bulldog wants to fight, hookshotting onto Silkid. Silkid will be able to get himself out. Of course, with that Glimmer Cape, it's working here. There's going to be a relocating from the side of NiP. They want to continue this one, Alliance. They're all grouped up, and now they're actually trying to get themselves out of this. Let's spot the BKB. Can he chase anyone down? Admiral Bulldog's going to get forced off down to the low ground. He's going to be okay. That might be Alliance looking to reinitiate. They, of course, have this Black Hole. Silkid, he's going to look for the TP out, and well, he's going to make it. The Sentry Ward just popped. Not quite in time. The TP was already there. And looks like, even though a lot of things being thrown out, the fight not really going to connect, and both teams just keeping themselves out of harm's way.
Yeah, to answer your question previously, I think both team has their own way of approaching the late game. Alliance, for example, you have Enigma Refresher. That's definitely a very powerful late game. A 6 slot of the Shrek is nothing to joke about. And a Clockwork that gives hook every 10 seconds with Aghanims is also very annoying. At the same time, NiP on the other side, the core is... Nope. Hook's gonna go in, and looks like Fly might be a little bit trouble. He does have BKB, but he's fighting essentially everybody.
Era's trying to go for this, but now Mad with the Black Hole. It's going to get cancelled though by the vacuum. And now Luke Conan with the crush. Era doing so much down this fight with the razors and everything. Pycat's still alive. He'll finally drop. Actually pops down the Death Ward. It doesn't matter. Era cleans him up as well. There's going to be a buyback for Lesh. There's going to be the Nightmare holding back Loda and doing exactly what they said. You said, Luma. They're trying to fight around Loda. They're killing everyone else. They take down Mad here. Bulldog's return. But I mean, the NiP, they take down 2, they force out a buyback, and they're just going to surge themselves out and try and get themselves away from this one. And yeah, I mean, they just try and ignore the Bristleback, and it allows them to get 3 for 1 trade, favoring them pretty heavily in there in terms of XP and gold.
Unfortunately, there's very little Loda could do about it, right? Like, he understands that he needs to run in and cause as much havoc as possible, but it's very easy for NiP to just... Nightmare. Yeah, you're kind of stuck there for a long time until you get that BKB. So, checking on the BKB, he's got that Mithril Hammer for like ages. Sorry, not Mithril Hammer, the Aura Club. Yeah. So he's essentially just like 1,100 go away. Should he want that BKB?
I got the timing of these fights as well for NiP have been very nice in terms of relation to Roche.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to have the opportunity to look for it in Alliance. They're down Enigma for 10 seconds. He doesn't have the Black Hole anyway. The question is, do NiP, do they want to stick around for this one and commit to the Roshan? Loda trying to do his best to keep them just a little bit scared, a little bit frosty. Pycat moving in as well, maybe seeing if he can find a yours. Bulldog has got a hook shot here on the high ground. Pings are coming out into Handscare. Looks like they want to go with the IO first. And
NiP is fine delaying this, because look at top lane. Darkseer is just sieging this tier 2 tower. They'll get it for free. He has Breach of Trouble, so he'll be able to join the fight pretty easily. In fact, he's going to TP in right now.
And there we go. Both sides, they're hungry for it. They're hungry for a bit of action. Everything is online apart from the Black Hole and the Fiend's Grip. Fiend's Grip is going to be back in a couple of seconds, so NiP, they're ready to go.
Smoke wraparound. Let's see if they're going to find anybody. Seal Kid's going to lead the charge. He's got the Armor Cape, so you know he's fine. The rest of the team very close by. if they could pick off the Enigma for the fight happens, or the Leshrac, that could be huge.
I think Alliance realised something sneaky might be going on. They've noticed no one come out in ward vision towards the spot, but Loda's might get caught by here. This is going to mess up the blink because the quill sprays cancel the blink. He won't find the stun onto Loda. Loda there, popping the Crimson Guard now. Alliance, do they want to try and fight or they want to try and run? NiP popping the BBs, and now Loda, he's kicking around in the midst of it all. He's trying to do what he can. Pycat is going to be the target here of the Fiend's Grip from Silkid. Matt's moving in, trying to find the midnight. Just down, but the wall's coming out from NiP. They've already lost one on the side of Alliance. Error being hailed up by Hansken. It's looking great for NiP. They've found two. Lip trying to chase down Loda. Loda now on the run. And now with the re-relocate, it's only a spawn, but they're just trying to close the gap here on the Bristleback. They want to kill Loda this time. They want to find him. Jonas and find out. Hey, there's going to be Silkid there with the brain sap, and they did end up finding a Loda. 4 heroes dropping on Alliance, and what a fight there for NiP.
Yeah, now NiP go for the safe play, which is straight into the Roshan pit. Yeah. There's an argument that you could start sieging the tier 3 on the bottom. The creep wave is already there, but no, they're going to go for the safe play because this one's Aegis and Cheese. And you can see that Alliance is already having trouble taking these team fights. With that said, that wasn't BKB Loda. That wasn't Black Hole on effing Matt. So that wasn't Alliance at their full strength. They got smoked from behind. So I think Alliance fans out there, don't fret. That wasn't Alliance at the full strength, but it's not looking good for Alliance.
I mean, nonetheless, just credit to NiP there for being able to just take advantage of that window where they knew the Alliance weren't going to have those abilities available. Thanks to that, Butterfly is now going to be complete on Aaron.
Jeez,
this Shadow Fiend is so big, so big. I mean, 20,000 net worth. The closest on the side of Alliance is Loda on 14k, but it's a massive difference in Error. He's just walking in on his own. He wants to try and find solo action, and Ake. No, okay, Eric just reveals himself, and Ake just TP's back to base, saying, nope, I don't want to be caught around this Shadow Fiend. And well, can they do anything about this, Eric? He's got an Aegis.
No, yeah, he's so confident on the front line. He's just, hitting tower, and the Straight War scouts out. Clockwork. Is he dead?
I think he is. He is so dead with Limp going in, and that's going to be a clean kill there for the side of NiP, and that's Bulldog down for a good 48 seconds, and he does not have the money for buyback if they decide to push NiP.
Now Alliance has to hold. Now, pushing up against high ground against Black Hole and the Leshrac is pretty scary. Who has the cheese, by the way? Does the Wisp have it? No, it looks like it's going to be on the Slaughter, who, by the way, has AC, so... something that LD says is AC as well as Vlad's is kind of an arms race. If they have one, you kind of have to have one yourself to equalize things. Seems like both team is doing that. I don't think Alliance have a Vlad's yet.
Oh, there we go. And NiP, they are so ready to go for high ground. It's going to be a hard one, though. They know that the Black Hole's back available. And, well, Clockwork's going to be back in the game in another 10 seconds, so maybe this isn't the time. And NiP, they're going to be content in just backing off and kind of waiting until going in for round 2. And yeah, in terms of the graphs now, we are really seeing a very sizable lead coming out. I mean, it's over 15,000 now in terms of net worth for NiP.
Right. And, if you go over to the support on NiP, who are these kids, Is it Seal Kids? Because he has way too many items.
They're doing very well this game.
They got Blink and Glimmer Cape. Obviously, when you're doing well, your supports also do well, but I do want to say that getting quite a bit of farm, despite how well they're doing.
Yeah, the supports have been playing very well this game on the side of NiP, enabling a lot of this action to kick off. And I think is that with a completed Glimmer Cape now as well. It is indeed. Jay's got the cloak on him, so that's going to be another Glimmer Cape here for the side of NiP to.
Who has one?
For the Iron as well as the Bane for NiP.
Oh, wow.
They got a couple for the team fights.
Oh, it's starting to look more and more like...
Look at this relocate. Loda, he's on his own. Error coming in with Hansken. They do what they can here. Well, they're going in with the Silver Edge debuff. He has got the Bristol. He has got the Crimson Guard, though. And he, of course, is still fairly tanky. Limping forward onto Pycat. Mad, he's trying to tell this what he's got. Black Hole available. Looking for the perfect opportunity to use it. Silkid, he's going to nightmare at Bulldog. Now with the Fiend's Grip onto Loda. Error's trying to go to work here onto the Mad Enigma. But Pycat, he finds the split off onto Error, controlling him. But Error, of course, he's just going to continue punching. Ooh. He's got the Aegis. This is going to be the wall drop. Catching Bulldog and Ake. Bulldog's going to drop. Ake just dropped, sitting here in the wall as the Bulldog illusion going to work on him. They'll take down Ake as well as now Jonas found on a killing spree. Error coming back for round 2 after the Aegis is popped. Him getting the crew onto Loda. They're looking for the Bristleback and they should be able to find it. Everyone's chasing them down. Mad, he's in the tree lines. He's going to be in a lot of as well if they look for him. It's going to be 3 kills there for the side of NiP. Maybe more. Pycat will use himself, but he's probably only going to prolong the inevitable as the damage flying from Error. He's got the Ghost Scepter. It might be enough to keep him alive as Pycat backs up, and well, Maddie's jumped in, but he ended up throwing his life away. Godlike Street Fair error, killing spree as Lim picks up a double kill, and now NiP, they've got the base to themselves. There's no one on the side of Alliance up, and Alliance, they're definitely going to lose at least a set of rocks here, and maybe even more than me.
I mean, this is some of the best positioning I've seen from NiP playing. They know they have to play around the black hole. They know how to play around the cogs, and they've done it splendidly. Shadow Fiend being so fat, he could just kind of run in. And right now, they have so much time. They're not worried about clumping up now, given the fact that the Nigma's dead. That's going to be 2 lanes of Rex and possibly 3. Buyback being forced out.
Oh, Limpy just jumped straight in on Pycat. Pycat evaporates, and GG is called. I mean, when the less dice to a couple of bashes like that, you can't stay in the game. What a performance from NiP and Lumi. This is the first series. We're going to be going to a game 3, and what a series it's been so far between NiP and Alliance.
I'm happy to eat the words on the Slardar. He may look silly, but he's a damn strong hero. I mean, how many times did he just delete the Leshrac from the map? Multiple fights in a row. It's a sad game to get Witch Doctor. Do we see any big death wards? I don't think so. I think overall, NiP initially